for people to join. We're going live.
Hello, everybody. Meteorologist Hutch Johnson joining you as we head into the 10 o'clock hour. Winter storm warnings, blizzard warnings, everything taking place. We'll get the latest update for you as we head into the overnight hours. Here's what we have to worry about as we head into the night, and that is the intensification of the storm. And let's take a look at that radar as we get into the evening hours. Here's what's going on. As we look up to the north here, we have temperatures that are dropping down into the single digits, northern parts of North Dakota. Here in South Dakota, the heaviest band of snow by far way down by Rapid City towards Pierre, Wall, and also making its way up into the Eagle Butte area. Now, there's a nice area of dry air out here that's going to lower some of the snowfall amounts out in parts of western and central North Dakota as we go through the next few hours or so. Still some light snow showers here in the southern Red River Valley, southeast North Dakota. Now, as you take a look at this, here's the low pressure center right here near Scottsbluff. Look at the temperature in Scottsbluff, 55 degrees. Unbelievable warmth going on right there. Now, as we see this system making its way out of the region, this low pressure system, which is located right here, is going to be moving in this general direction as we go through the overnight hours. So this heavy band of snow is going to move in this general direction as well. Now, if you're in Fargo, Jamestown, and Bismarck, you're going to be on the lower end of the snowfall potential with this system as we go through the overnight hours, but we could certainly see some areas that get a little bit more in the way of that snowfall as well. So here's what you need to know as we head into the overnight hours. We're going to take a look at that latest forecast with regards to, oh my goodness, it's your snowfall forecast. So let's go ahead and clear off some of these lines that I have on here and let's get right to it. Now, as we take a look at some of the models here, I want to point out that we're going to go through together and look through a couple that are showing the signs of what's going on. Can't see the map. Okay, thank you. Watching from Grand Forks. Hey, Magic Moon, I'm hoping you're able to see the maps out here. Let me see what's going on. I'm going full screen. Yeah, I see a map up there. I'm not seeing me. I'm having a little bit of a camera issue here as we head into this broadcast right now. So I'll keep you posted on what's going on there. But I hope you can see the map as we discussed here. What you're looking at is an hour-by-hour forecast of your forecast for the overnight hours. This particular model is the HRRR, and it is showing a very similar to look to what we're seeing right now across the region. Now check this out. As I go back to a model run here that's going to get us just a little bit farther out, check out the position of the heavier bands of snow. As we go through the overnight hours, we're approaching the midnight hour with what you see right here. And it does look like we'll see some heavier bands of snow from Pierre and Chamberlain, South Dakota, on the I-90 corridor in South Dakota through the Sisseton Hills area heading into the nighttime hours. So keep that in mind. It's overnight when both the wind and the snowfall intensity will increase after midnight and beyond. Look at the icing now. It's right on the Iowa line here with this pink. Now we're going to have some accumulation of ice, 1 to 2, maybe 3/10. But this area down here, down south, is where I anticipate to see the greatest chance for some accumulating snows. Now, the wind is picking up in South Dakota. In North Dakota, we're talking east winds here at about 15 to 30 miles per hour. But down in South Dakota, gusts over 40 miles per hour will be possible. Southern Minnesota, where the game is on, and Iowa will have some very troublesome problems out there. Thanks, Bubbles. Thanks, Matthew. Thanks, Magic Moon, for saying about the maps out there. I'm sorry, Magic Moon, you couldn't see the map. It might be just a switching problem I had when I first started the stream. The software did a little bug in there. So my apologies on that. I hope it's fixed, and I'm not sure what's going on with me cameras right now. So we'll take a look at what's going on with regards to those. I'm trying to multitask here and solve that problem. But the most part here, what you're looking at is the heavy band of snow, southern Minnesota. Yes, the Twin Cities, Point South, Northfield. If you are in that area not far from Rochester, if you're in the Red Lake Falls area, if you're in Winona all the way out towards Hutchinson, and on the I-90 corridor there, you're going to see bands of heavy snow and ice to the south. The entire Highway or Interstate 35 corridor from the Twin Cities towards the state line with Iowa, we'll see bands of very heavy snow. Now, the timing on this, it lasts straight through daybreak, and then it's moving into Red Wing. And as we go out towards Hudson, very heavy snow, northern parts and central parts of Wisconsin, here's where the wind really picks up. So first thing in the morning, we're going to have rock and roll wind gusts upwards of 50 miles per hour. They'll be east and switching to become northeasterly as we go through your morning hours. Still some icing concerns out there in parts of southern Wisconsin, northern Iowa, and as we go through the day, check this out. Here's the noon hour now, and you're looking at still wind and accumulating snow. The heaviest intensity of the snow will be moving off into central and eastern Wisconsin. We'll still have modest amounts of snow, light to moderate intensity across most of the I-94 corridor in Minnesota, the I-29 corridor in South Dakota, Iowa, as well as, Nebraska's eastern reaches as well. Gusty winds, snow, reduced visibility continue as we go through. That's your noon hour. Here we go. A secondary low now. This is new. This is something different. A heavier band of snow all the way from Ottumwa, Iowa, Des Moines, Iowa, Keokuk. How about you folks out there in the northeast quadrant of Iowa, moving into Bettendorf, moving into Ottumwa and points north towards southern Wisconsin. So if you happen to be in northern Illinois, say places like Rockford, Illinois, moving up to Beloit, Wisconsin, big time heavy snow and gusty north winds. Now, this is the 10 o'clock hour on your Sunday night, and we still have bands of heavy snow continuing to accumulate there. So now what we're going to do is have a little bit of fun. And if you're into fun, let's go ahead and compare some models now. This is real-time weather, real-time updates. Thank you, Kim and Carol Simon, for your contribution. If you're new to Hutch's Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Hutch Johnson. For the past better part of 30 years, I've been here covering weather in the northern plains, stepped away from television, and now I have a streaming channel. So I'd love it to have you hit the subscribe button on my YouTube channel. It's growing like crazy, and I want you to be a part of it. If you have a question, now's the time to drop those in the comments, and you can download my app and follow along with road reports there as well. We'll get to those in a second. The app can be found by searching Hutch's Weather in your app store today. All right, let's take a look at what we have going on with the snowfall potential forecast here on the several different models that we have. Now, what we're going to look through is some of the higher resolution models to take a peek at them as we go through the overnight hours and into the day. Now, I'm going to move this out just a little bit farther in time. So we're looking all the way into Monday as we get into the midday hour. So Monday by noon, let's see what this shows. Here's Monday at noon. This is the total snowfall accumulation from a long-range American model, keeping Fargo, Jamestown, Bismarck around that 2 to 5 category still in play. But the high-resolution models, and let's go to the European model here, that's just coming out. The European model, oh boy, it's still coming in, so we'll have to wait on that one. Let's see, Monday, ATZ, nothing there. Okay, so now let's go to the high-resolution models, and here we go. Pardon me. Okay, here we go. Sorry about the delay here. Now we're looking at models and they're showing us the snowfall potential between now and your Monday morning. Okay, so this is a high resolution model showing the I-29 corridor of South Dakota, and it's showing that we're going to see some bands in the pink there that could exceed 8 inches of snow. So we're still looking like additional snowfall there on the I-29 corridor. Southeast North Dakota seeing problems. Southern Minnesota seeing significant snow to the tune of 1 feet to 1.5 feet of snow. Central Wisconsin is still getting slobber knockered. That's a high resolution meteorological term right there for you. This is another model showing similar conditions over the next overnight hours. Notice the band of snow that goes from Rapid City on the I-90 corridor all the way through Pierre, Chamberlain, and on out almost in towards Yankton down there. So that part of South Dakota seeing a nice band of 5 to 7 inches of snow. Isolated places seeing more. Southern Minnesota, you're still the winner. Another model, Southern Minnesota, you're still the winner. Another model, Southern Minnesota, you're still the winner. Eastern South Dakota, you're still the winner as far as snowfall intensity and heaviness goes. Hey, checking out another model. Yep, Southern Minnesota all the way up to near Duluth, you're the winner. Look at Wisconsin as well. Here's another model, another model. So most models are concurring that the heaviest bands of snow will be in eastern South Dakota through southern Minnesota and central parts of Wisconsin as we go through the overnight hours. We were talking freezing rain too. You saw that. Check out the model's location and placement of these all right along the Minnesota-Iowa border. Several tenths of an inch could be possible here. It was 2/10 of an inch. Now it's looking like as many as 3 or 4/10 of an inch, maybe up to 3/4 of an inch of ice there right along the border. As you look out south of the I-94 corridor here, that's some big time icing potential with the storm systems. Many models are showing this. So I think it's a good bet to see a solid 1 to 2/10 of an inch of snow out there. I think you, Matteo says, I think I heard you mention a secondary low. How do those form and what are impacts if that happens? So that's a great question. I'll try to address that here in a bit. And thank you so very much, Drummer Boy. Good to see you on board. I wish your videos would show more hour by hour. I wish your videos would show hour by hour. That's what we're doing right now, so I hope this is helping you. And we're also looking at comparisons of snowfall forecasts. Bonnie, I'm over winter too. Bonnie, Duluth Superior is going to get nailed, and my son and fiance want a birthday party for her daughter. Well, Duluth Superior is going to be on the very, very north fringes of this storm system. There's some light snow there now, a little drier there than with the last system that got really overdone out in that area with just ridiculous amounts of snow. So I'm optimistic that it won't be as bad as it will be in the Twin Cities. So now we've just looked at snowfall totals. We're going to take a look at Hutch's forecast map here and we'll go over the details on that. Sorry, I've disappeared off the screen here. I'm not sure what's going on with my channel as far as the camera's going right now. So I'm trying to solve that while I'm talking to you about a little bit of other information here. So let's go ahead and continue to do our best to cover what's going on right now. Okay, so what we're going to take a look at now is going to be the snowfall forecast. Now, this is the one that I've had up there earlier in the day. We are sliding this whole thing south a bit, okay? The snow along the Fargo area. Notice Fargo, Jamestown, Bismarck. I have the 2 to 5 text in there for this entire area. I'm going to stick with that. I think we'll be on the lower side of that 2 to 5 in Fargo and in Jamestown, but it quickly ramps up as we get into Richland County. So the 5 to 10 across northern South Dakota looks good. And as we go into parts of the I-29 corridor of South Dakota, I think 7 to 10 inches is totally going to be a thing, with pockets of 15 possible into central and southern Minnesota, south of the Brainerd Lakes area. So Brainerd, I think Fergus Falls to Brainerd is going to be closer to the 5-inch mark, and we'll go ahead and take a look at that. That's the lower end of what I have drawn through there. So I'm sticking with my forecast. I just think it's going to be a sharper cutoff on the northern edge of this storm and a little bit of a sharper cutoff on the south, because we're going to have some serious icing potential as we look down into the Iowa and Minnesota border. So that's a look at that. I hope that helps. Let's see. I'm looking for questions. What is overnight in Cass County? So if you look at overnight in the Fargo area and Cass County, North Dakota, it does look like we're going to see some snow as we go through. Right now, a look at the latest radar. Let me pull that up for you, showing that we do have this heavier band of snow right now that is working its way across the I-29 corridor near Watertown. That's where the drier air is undercutting the storm out here and really keeping them snowflakes from making their way down to the ground. But as this low here makes its way, the low is over here near Hot Springs on in towards Pier. As that low lifts northward now, we're going to see a chance to get our best snow during the overnight hours. I think Richland County, for you folks in Sargent and Ransom counties, you could see a little bit more. Let's get to a look at what's going on with road conditions, because I've seen some travel alerts coming across North Dakota, South Dakota. Let's get to those. Here's a look at North Dakota's travel report. You can follow along with these on the weather app, and notice southeasternmost North Dakota does have this alert. The red counties are no travel advisories. So from the Morton exit here on I-29, we can take a look for you right now. Flakes have completely covered the road surface there. Southeast North Dakota is in the mix. Here's Foreman on the Highway 11 corridor. It too, we can see the road stripes there, so that's a good sign at this particular time. But we certainly have some nice pillow drifts starting to show up out there. Huge river of moisture indeed. 2 inches of snow, St. Joe, Minnesota area now. Thank you, Substitute, for your reports. Kim, thank you for sharing the stars. Staples, let me show you what's going on in your neck of the woods. We're looking at road reports now. These purple counties here from Bismarck, Dickinson, all of these areas in North Dakota are under a travel alert. Here is a look at the Interstate 94 corridor here at Sterling, and that's not far from Kidder County and the Burleigh County area. Kidder County, as we look into that area, we do have some troubles there. So overnight, we're going to get more snow to be building into the area. And as we look down in the border counties here with South Dakota, that's where the troubles are most pronounced. Now let's take a look at the roads in South Dakota. Here's what we're looking at. Boom. We have some serious problems in here. Where we have the red is closed roads. So I do want to point out that we have closed interstate roads and highways and byways in parts of east central South Dakota. Hamlin County roads are closed. Dual County roads are closed. Going up to north, Grant County, including the Millbank area, roads closed. I-29 closed. So do know that there are some problems here. These red roads are now closed or blocked from the South Dakota border. So here's a look at I-29. We have pillow drifts coming all over the place out there. Look at that big old drift over the top there of the road surface as we look at Victor, South Dakota. So that's what's going on in South Dakota. Big time problems on the I-29 corridor as far south as we get down into that Brookings area, and then the road is not closed anymore. So the I-29 corridor is closed to Watertown is the way I read this map right now. Watertown, this is a look at the latest image there. That was from 10:09, not that long ago. And I-29 closed from the North Dakota border to Watertown. The way I read this map, numerous highways and byways are closed. As you look out towards Huron in South Dakota, that road also closed on US 14. Check it out. Very difficult visibility out there, and the winds and conditions overnight are only going to get worse. So the Brookings region does have some roads closed. And look at this, all the way south in Dawson County, roads are closed in and around that Millbank area. This is the closest camera I can get to for you. It is showing that we do have basically quiet conditions on the road surfaces there, but there are roads closed, it says, in Dawson County. Keep that in mind for you folks in southeast parts of South Dakota. We have some candy cane roads or no travel advised in and around the Lake Oahe region. Look at this. This is where that heavier band of snow is setting up. Nope, you are not in Star Wars. This is a look at Ridgeview on the US 212 corridor there in north central and central parts of South Dakota. So that's what things are looking like there in South Dakota. Minnesota, the snow is beginning to push into the Twin Cities area. Let's check in for our Land of a Thousand Lakes images here, and you'll see a lot of pink on this map showing roads that are no travel advised. Let's see if there are any of those. That would be a purple road in here. No, the pink roads indicate that we have completely covered roads. Some of the heavier snow showing up in the southern metro area. Let's go to these. All of these purple asterisks, or many of them, are crashes in the metro area. So around the 494 loop and point south, the 35 loop south of town, I-94, 694, 494, all showing signs that we have a number of crashes going on in and around the Minneapolis-St. Paul area. So as you go out by the interstate, by the airport here, Bloomington, I-94, as you're heading in toward the airport, let's take you out to a look at what's going on there. Completely covered interstate roads, plows and our DOT crews doing their very best to keep things flowing free, but you can certainly see the coverage is impactful. And the heaviest of the snow happens here, folks, overnight. As you go to the eastern metro area out here, as you get ready to cross the river into Hudson, here's what it looks like there. Now, this is a look at the interstate completely covered over that overpass there. Very slippery road conditions are in that particular area. Going north towards Duluth, what do you got? Completely covered roads on Interstate 35, and this is what it looks like with flakes flying a little bit horizontally out there, but not quite as much snowfall yet showing up there. I-35 south of town on the highway as we go out into the general direction of you folks in Rochester. Here's Rochester. Not as much coverage on the road. You can see the roads are a little wetter there. Yeah, I met hour by hour clock on your map. Oh, drummer boy, I'm sorry about the misinterpretation. My mistake, and thank you for your input. I always appreciate it, and I don't look down on anybody for giving Hutch constructive and friendly criticism. Thank you for that. Now let's look south. Albert Lee. All right, let's check it out. Oh my gosh. Okay, so this is Albert Lee on the 35 corridor. We have what looks like some very thick and dense clouds, or maybe just some snowflakes that have covered the lens there. So we do have some challenges on 35. We have a crash on northbound I-35 as we look not far from Northfield. So if you folks out here at the college are heading out to the interstate, please keep in mind that as you get to Little Chisago out here, you got some rough and tumble conditions with a crash on the interstate. Look at there. We got us emergency rescue vehicle with the first responders out there making things as safe as they can for folks on I-35. Little Chisago out there. Please be cautious on road surfaces. Do not travel if you don't have to tonight, because things, as we talked about in the forecast, are no fun at all. Now, as we get out toward the South Dakota border, some heavier bands of snow are spreading through this region right now. And as we look at let's go to the I-90 corridor just to check in on that area. As we look at Rushmore, this is a look. Roads quiet right now. This is going to change, so be where you want to be about now, because what's coming out of South Dakota is only going to intensify, and the wind will really get strong as we go through the overnight hours. So that is a look at Minnesota. We looked at South Dakota. We looked at North Dakota roads. The storm system on the big picture looks like this. Beatles SB, very windy and wildfires in Nebraska, extremely dry here. Thank you for checking in, Beetle SB or Beatles B. I'm not sure how I pronunciate that, but I'm doing the goodest I can. Look at this solid moisture out here. That's pushing in on the I-29 corridor south of Sioux City, heading in towards Schuyler, Omaha. Look at this grassland and pressing into Utica. If you're in Aurora, Nebraska, you have a chance at rain. Norfolk seeing some rain showers right now. Look at these temperatures, 50 degrees. Greeley, 50 degrees. Kearney, Nebraska, looking good. So there is some moisture moving through the state, but definitely dry weather there. This storm system and the low pressure center with it, associated with it, are making their way through, and it does look like you're going to get a lot of wind. So what rain you get could be dried up by some wind on the backside of this storm system. This is the main snow band making its way through Rapid City to Pierre right now and on up towards Millbank. This is associated with the surface low pressure system that is intensifying as it moves out on the high plains. It will get stronger tonight, as illustrated by the hour-by-hour forecast that we were talking about a bit ago. So here's a little bit of a loop. You can kind of see that these low clouds here showing some motion north to south. So northerly winds starting to punch in on the backside, dropping temperatures on the backside of this system, the cold side, Rapid City in the 20s, while you're in the 50s in northern parts of Nebraska. Thunder and lightning aplenty working its way through your area as well, and that's something to keep in mind. So again, this heavier band of snow right now is going to be shifting off to the east. And now we'll take a look at what we're having with that hour-by-hour forecast, as we talked about not seeing the map. Oh, my apologies. Thanks for letting me know, Randy. I'm looking at another screen and I got myself out of trouble here. So now there is the warning map. Blizzard warning continues for Sioux Falls all the way up to the state line with North Dakota. That blizzard warning is in effect until the overnight hours and into your Sunday as well. Now let's take a look at what we have going on for the warnings that we're seeing in the region toward the Twin Cities, Rochester, Cedar Rapids, Davenport, and Des Moines, all in the blizzard warning. Blizzard warning Ottumwa. Also, as you go down towards Kirksville, it does look like that is a high wind advisory and a high wind watch, a high wind warning in different counties there. Also showing through Omaha, Nebraska to Columbus, winter weather advisories in blue that you see there, and a high wind warning in your area as well. The red counties are winter storm warnings. That's for Pierce on up in toward the Yankton area. But Yankton, as we take a closer look at your region, you are in the blizzard warning. So blizzard warning, Sioux Falls, Sioux City, Lamar's, all the way out into Mason City, Iowa, and Owatonna. as well. Dickinson, Bismarck, winter storm warning for you. The heaviest of the snow is south of you. I do have a snow report coming in, and this is what we're seeing, about 3 inches in Dickinson. So the drier air is undercutting this storm system on the west side and the west fringes of it right now in northwest parts of Minnesota, northwest parts of South Dakota. And because that drier air is moving its way in towards Buffalo and you folks in the Lemons, South Dakota area, Bison, South Dakota, Timber Lake, South Dakota, McLaughlin, South Dakota, may have some of your snowfall totals abruptly cut off by the dry air with this particular system. So indeed, we do have some snow, a lot of warnings going through, but it does look like the radar is starting to tell the story of the system. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. Here we go. Sorry about that map delay here. Here we go. See if I can turn off my pencil, and there we go. So as we go into the Rapid City area towards Phillip, that's where the heavy mount is, moving through Wall, where you all know that if you've traveled through the Badlands out there, there's a lot of snow. That's the heavy band of snow. This heavy band of snow will trek eastward as we go through the overnight hours, right along Interstate 90 and points north. Now the dry air is cutting into Fargo, Jamestown, and southeast North Dakota, where we already have some snow making its way through. And now the thunder and lightning punching its way into Nebraska, Norfolk, as well as you folks down here in Elgin, as you folks as well in the Tilden area and Albion, as well as Cedar Rapids in Nebraska. Seeing a chance for some thunder shower activity with some locally heavy rain as well. Minneapolis, the snowfall continues for you, and it really gets bad overnight. The morning will be the worst as we go through based on the forecast that we just showed you. Wow, that is a huge area, Magic Moon says, with regards to this. Good evening, Judy says from Grand Forks. Good to have you on. Can confirm the roads in Dickey and Sargent County are terrible. No travel advised. I imagine it will go further west. I do believe that will be the case. So there is a look at the radar map as we take a look. Now let's go ahead and look at what's going on with regards to snowfall reports so far, because this storm system started in the Rockies of Montana. Look at these snowfall reports that we've had up to this hour. And as we take you in just a little bit closer, you're going to notice that we have some areas here that have already gotten in the Pier area 4 inches of snow, getting closer to the I-90 corridor, Vivian 4 inches of snow already, 2 inches in Reliance as well. Now, as we go up north of Interstate 90, the Mud Butte area, 4 inches of snow reported. If you are in Newell, South Dakota, 2 inches reported. Dickinson, North Dakota, 3.5 inches. 4.5 inches for my friends in Almont, North Dakota, as well as just west of Dickinson, Belfield on the 85 corridor there at the turnoff by the gas station and the oil wells, 3 inches of snow. Look at this, southeast North Dakota, Montana, where Hutch was born and raised. Lame Deer, 12.4 inches. Billings reporting 9 inches of snow as you go out towards Billings and Laurel. Big time snow amounts in this area, 7.9 inches south of Billings. Get to Lodge Grass, 4.4 inches there. So 12.4 inches way out here in Lame Deer is a huge number for southeast North Dakota. And your neighbors in Ashland at 10.3 inches. And oh yeah, by the way, we got blocked roads that are happening out here in parts of Montana, and 22 inches of shovel trouble in Grass Range, Montana, as you look out towards 20 inches in Lewistown, Montana as well. So this storm system produced big time snow. The capital city, Helena, Montana, 7 miles southwest, 15 inches. And how about 29 inches in Ovando? Out there in the mountains of northern Montana, Great Falls, 10.4 inches. Kalispell, beautiful for skiers and beautiful for a runoff in the spring. That's some good news there. These snow, the amounts that you see here in the UP are for the exiting storm, round 1, blizzard 1. This is blizzard 2 just taking shape. You can see the track of it. Now looking at the snow reports, North Dakota on the lighter amounts along and south of Interstate 94. And the main event is going to be ongoing through central South Dakota, southern Minnesota, and into northern Iowa with ice as well. So that is a look at what's going on there. Looking for questions. Are you having a mic problem? I keep cutting in and out. And I'll try shaking my iPad. Thanks Psalm, you know, my computer might be having a little bit of a buzzy problem. Let me know if more of you are having the problems with the mic. I see that the modulating mic is looking good. And when I look at the stream health, I'm seeing excellent stream health over here. So Psalm, I think that that's okay. I know that I have a camera issue going on right now, and I can't solve that until I shut down my computer and restart it. So thank you, Bubbles, for letting me know that the mic is okay. I apologize profusely for not having a camera here that is up to snuff with regards to the system going on right now. But thanks for bearing with me, and thank you for being up on that. Now, let me say this to you. I think this is an important piece of information. If you have access to my app, go ahead and join me right now, because there's a lot of information on the app that you can see there. A couple of things to know: you can get my app by going to the website later. Up here it says download the app on the screen. When you download the app, we got you covered. But on my app and on the website, road conditions that you'll need first thing in the morning are right here for you. Thanks, Psalm. I appreciate you. Sounding good, says Betty. Thank you very, very much for your feedback. I do appreciate it, and I'm sorry that that some of you are having some issues. I came back down here, and I think my computer stream was getting flaky. So, Comstock, Minnesota, snowing here. Tiffany, thank you so very much. From the southeast quadrant of, west central quadrant of Minnesota right now. So on the website and the app, you can download the app, you can upload your photos and get the latest on your road conditions. And this is huge information to all have on one-stop shopping here. You can look at cameras. This is North Dakota's road report. All states, all provinces in our region are covered here. And now North Dakota, just as a I guess I'd call this a pro tip. If you go ahead and go to the layers tab over here on the left-hand side, you can turn the snow plows on and you can see our DOT crews getting to work and getting it done. No travel advisory in southeast North Dakota. If you click on Minnesota, you can see the latest for your state. You can turn on plows there as well. You go down here and look at all the plows going to work, getting it done, trying to keep ahead of the game out here in the Twin Cities is where we have some substantial problems as well. You can do the same for South Dakota. You can do the same for Iowa, and it's all here on Hutch's weather at this time. My latest video, including the stream that you see right now, showing up at the top of the page as well. I'm inviting each of you and every one of you who have not partaken in Hutch's weather before to please click on the old subscribe button on my YouTube channel. I really welcome you, and it helps my videos go out if you hit the likes, if you like the video. And same thing goes for you folks watching on my Facebook page. Thanks for all of your follows over the years. It's been a pleasure to serve you. Now, let's take a look at what's going on with our forecast as we look. Now, this is Fargo specific, but keep in mind that the trend is going to be similar here. Here's our storm system as we go through the weekend. Falling temperatures in places where we get significant snow near the North Dakota, South Dakota border. We're going to have temperatures below zero Monday and Tuesday morning, but we start climbing Tuesday. Growing pains with a warm front moving in from the west will carry us to the 20s. And after that, we'll be really quickly back into the 40s and even 50s. Now, if you have 8 to 10 inches of snow, it'll take you longer to get here. But in places like Fargo, Jamestown, who do not get 5-6 inches of snow, we are on for a nice warm up. Less than a quarter of snow in Hickson, North Dakota. Randy, thank you for your report there. Hickson being south of the FM area. So thank you for your reports as we go through the forecast period. It does look like a very nice warm up into the region. Here's a look at the step on the forecast now as we go through. Now this model, let's go back to the latest model here, because this one looks to have a little bit more snow on the north side than we're really seeing. We can still use this information. The point here is that when you look at the 1 a.m. time frame, which will be coming up here, I do expect from Pierre, South Dakota and Chamberlain, South Dakota towards Watertown to be the main impact. The low is going to move off into northern Nebraska here near Yankton, South Dakota, and it's going to really bring that heavy band of snow and ice along the the Minnesota and Iowa border here, accumulating ice and very heavy snow from the cities and points south toward the border. So if you are in Duluth, see the light blue colors. Some of you may or may not get any snow or significant snow at all, but it does look very windy. And then as we go in toward the area of 7 a.m. on Sunday, the wind really is rocking. The Twin Cities will see the heaviest of the snow sliding out towards Hudson and central Wisconsin. The ice also moving in that general direction. And this storm system will last into Sunday as we go through Wisconsin and into the UP of folks up there in Michigan. St. Paul, snowy and pretty heavy. Craig Shriver, thank you very much for watching. Thank you for liking, for subscribing, and for your report. Psalm says, it's okay, Hutch. I will listen to it no matter what. Thank you. I appreciate you very much, Psalm. Thank you for that. Hello from Duluth, says Simon. Fine here, says the audio for Brenda. Thank you. Guess we could use the moisture. That's the attitude, Brenda. Okay. That is really a comprehensive look at what's going on. Now let's give you bonus time on Hutch's weather. And this is the European model carrying us out. Now, I will admit the European model was too far north on this storm system throughout the week. Okay, so the last blizzard that went through, it was the best model and I went away from it. And now this model, it's really been a little bit too far to the north. Here is the latest run of the model, and it's showing that as we see this system exit, a severe weather outbreak is going to be highly likely in the Gulf Coast states and southeastern parts of the United States as this system knifes through hot, humid air. Cold air replaces it in Arkansas and Missouri. Are you kidding me? Look at that cold blue line moving down south. You're going to have some very cold air then sliding in to places like northern Alabama, northern parts of the western parts of the Carolinas and central parts of Georgia as well. And look at the red lines starting to return into the northern plains. So from Montana, the Dakotas, Nebraska, the heat is back on. And it will eventually warm up in Minnesota once it starts melting some of your snow out. And that's exactly what it does. And the red line stays, the warm air stays all the way until we get into the 20th of the month before we see another north wind take over briefly. But a nice track shift here for us. This European model here is showing another signal that we might see a storm system moving through our region as we go through Tuesday the 24th. That's way out there yet, so I don't want to get too carried away with that data. So let me go ahead, and while I'm looking at this, we've uploaded your models now. We've looked at the forecast. I'm going to load up the high resolution model once again because this is where we started. We're going to wrap this up now so you can go to bed and know what's happening. Here you go. I'm going to look at a slightly different model. Let me see the one that's coming in that I like. See what this one's doing. If you do like computer models, this is the ARW version of the WRF model, and it's pretty good with where it's showing the snow heavy towards Wall, South Dakota right now. Look at things intensify right along the Iowa border. So Minneapolis, St. Paul on this model is going to see some heavy snow through the overnight hours, and first thing in the morning is shown right here, 6 to 7 a.m. And look at along the Iowa border, look at the I-29 corridor in South Dakota. What you're seeing here, these black lines are called isobars. Those isobars show very gusty winds through eastern South Dakota, and on the Iowa border with Minnesota, very gusty winds. Nebraska, you're going to get some snow in the north side up here south of Yankton, and as you move on in towards parts of the I-80 corridor, we'll see some snow showers pushing in as well, but mainly staying north of I-80 the way it looks to old Hutch Bob here. Then as we continue this into motion, look at that ice moving into central and southern Wisconsin, and big time heavy snow with this storm system and wind in much of central Wisconsin. And now we still have gusty winds and snow in eastern South Dakota, and look at northern Nebraska, north of Omaha, heading towards Sioux Falls. This lasts, the time you're looking at here is going to be 11 a.m. Sunday, continuing all the way until we get to about 3 to 5 p.m. on Sunday for Omaha and Sioux Falls, and then it's finally out. Look at Des Moines, would you, on this Des Moines and points north, see a following or trailing secondary low that we were talking about. And I think it was one of you folks, I'm sorry if I'm forgetting the name, but one of you folks, I think it was FJ looking at this, and it's There is a secondary low right here moving through southern Iowa right now. The main low kind of wobbled in here, but this, boom, follow-up upper level low right here makes its way on the backside of the system and really enhances the low pressure in Iowa. Those winds are ridiculous. I'm thinking 40 to 45, maybe 50 mile per hour winds all the way from Iowa City right into Des Moines, all the way from Mason City and on in towards Rochester and Red Wing. This continues to snow until Sunday night at 10, 11, 12. There's midnight on Sunday night. So you're going to get another wave of snow. This is going to be a big time snow producer, or the potential will be there all the way into Sunday night. So Hutch will be here for you. Make sure you download the app and keep up to date with the very latest. I will do my best to keep you updated. I'll be back in the morning with an update. But for now, I'm meteorologist Hutch Johnson. My voice is crackling up. I see the secondary low causes a second wave of snow, basically, question mark, Matthew. Yes, indeed. And actually, I'll show you something else, more bonus coverage here. But I want to do this on a more national map. Let me get the high resolution national map here. Okay, that's not the national map, but I can fix it. Let's see here. Bear with me. Grabbing data. Go into the national map. We're going to look at upper air maps. And what I'm looking at is a 700 millibar low height and wind. Let's look at this. Now, temperatures. There are temperatures that really make big snowflakes really fast. And at this level, it's minus 10. See where my pointer is right here? Minus 10 degrees C is the heavy band of snow and points south. That's where the atmosphere is going to be making snowflakes the size of my fist and heavy snowfall rates with this storm system. And this little circle you see right here is the upper level low, the surface low way out here. So as we continue our trek through the storm system, it's making its way through, and the upper low just parks over eastern South Dakota. So the surface low is stretching out into parts of Iowa. This tilt is a tilt that we call it in meteorology. And we have northern Iowa and eastern Iowa with the surface low moving through, and the upper level low is back here. And near the upper level low, the heaviest snow is usually on the north side, just north of the upper level low by just a few miles. So that's where that snow band will be heavy, and look how it lollygags and follows behind the main low that'll be at the surface. By this time, we're looking at Sunday in the afternoon hours. The surface low should be all the way off in towards Michigan, and I'll show you that at the same time here as we take a look at the surface low pressure system at this same time. Give me a second while I switch the map over. Boom. Surface low, Michigan and eastern Wisconsin. Upper level low moving through Iowa. So there is a tilt to this storm system. The surface low causing the heavy snow and ice moving into northern Michigan and southern and eastern parts of Wisconsin, not far from Green Bay. And the upper level low responsible for the backside heavier or more intense band of snow. So isobars sound cold. They do, Magic Moon. Thank you very much. All righty then. Good night. Good night to you. And I will be back with updates. Thanks for all your questions. Again, I do appreciate all of you uploading your photos. Download the app and I will keep you posted. And again, if you have questions, let me know. I see a question here. Glad we are out of this in Fargo. Jillian, I am too. That's a little dry here. I do think we could still see a good couple inches, which keeps us into that 2 to 5 forecast that I had there for Fargo. I know that we've got close to 3/10 to a half inch in Fargo right now, and it's when this secondary low kind of passes through. There could be some moisture lobbed over the top of us, so I'm going to stick with that particular forecast as we do go through the overnight hours, and here's what it looks like. So Fargo, I don't think you're going to see 4.9 that it says there in Fargo, but see Hutch's text here, 2 to 5. I think we'll be close to the 2 side in Fargo. You get down in Richland County, see how it says 5 to 10? I think we'll see every bit of the 5 and maybe 7 as you get into southern Richland County. And then the I-29 corridor, particularly around Watertown, I think you're in the 7 to 15 plus pretty easily, with still holding tight to the 18 plus. I think you can move this whole picture down about 30 miles so that that main core of snow moves through Minneapolis and points south, and then we'll see solid ice along the border, and that's my latest. Tom Hall, you must hate Rochester. Yeah, I understand. I do too. I don't hate Rochester. I'm just telling you the weather the way I see it, Tom. Thank you for that. Rochester is one of them kind of towns where when you get there, it's beautiful, and the work they do in that town is amazing. The medical facilities, amazing. And Rochester happens to be in an area This goes for you folks in Mason City too. I see more ice storms move through this particular part of our Northern Plains country than many other parts of the country. Ooh, bonus, woot woot, says Magic Moon. Thank you very much. No, I don't hate Rochester, but it does look like we're moving that heavier snow down south into your neck of the woods. Now, speaking of your neck of the woods, it is always fun, and Hutch has a hard time cutting this off, but look at Minnesota. Look at your DOT maps. And know this, you can get this information by following along on My Weather app. Search Hutch's Weather app, go to the OK Tire Road Reports, and you're going to get this first thing in the morning. Every state in our region, Wisconsin, Minnesota, Iowa, the Dakotas, Montana, Wyoming, Colorado, we got you covered. Those are all there. And if you happen to live in southern parts of the prairie provinces, we've got Saskatoon and Saskatchewan. That's fun to say at this hour of the night, as well as my friends in Manitoba. We've got your road reports all there on one app for you. Look at all the crash reports. These are these asterisks that are in purple showing up here to in and around the Twin Cities. As we take a look at Albertville out there by the mall, look at this. Completely covered interstate out there, and the road surfaces are just no fun for those traveling on it. Now, as we take a look, as we go on to the central and southern half of the metro area, which is where I'm showing the heaviest bands of snow. So we're talking about Chaska and Point South. So as we get down here and toward Minnetonka, okay, congratulations, Minnetonka, on your high school appearance out there for the state high school boys hockey tournament. What a game you had with Moorhead. My home base is Moorhead. What a tournament. What a bunch of game. Y'all can be proud of yourselves for all of the fine hockey that was played out there. This is a live view of what's going on. You're looking at Interstate 494 on the southwest side near Minnetonka, as the snow is thick. And it's going to get thicker and heavier overnight. This is not the main event as we go through. Mathau, go Minnetonka. Yep, the Skippers did a great job out there. And the Spuds came out there and had a lot of success as well. And the last couple years has been fun to watch out there. I've been a fan of Minnesota high school hockey for many, many years, and it's just really fun to watch. Let's go into Minneapolis downtown and show you what things are looking like. Folks, that there is greasy. Those roads are greasy. You want to make sure that you got good tires on, and you want to make sure you give plenty of distance between you and the car in front of you so we don't get more of those purple triangles showing up on Hutch's map here from the DOT folks out there. So that's what's going on in and around Minneapolis, St. Paul, the Twin Cities. We have a lot of areas with problems. A crash showing up here on I-35 northbound, like we talked about a little bit earlier. And we do look out here as we go down and in and a little close and personal to Highway 52 between Rochester and the Twin Cities. And let's go ahead and play this video if it'll load up for me. And basically the road surface there mostly covered. You can actually see the snow blowing over the top of the bi-level here that we see as the traffic approaches on US Highway 52 between Rochester and the Twin Cities tonight. So that's what's going on right there, right now. We've got you covered as well. Iowa, you're going to have to wait just a little longer. I know you're just really disappointed about that for all of the weather to make its way in. Let's go into the Fargo area and the highway Interstate 94 corridor, Rothsay. Let's see what that looks like. We do have completely covered lanes on the interstate here. So indeed, just east of the Fargo Moorhead area and south, we have some appreciable snowfall showing up down in that neck of the woods. Get a little farther south as we go east of Wheaton, and look at this. This is no fun, and that is what's going to be increasing in intensity, believe it or not, as we go through the overnight hours. Here's a look at some regional gusts right now, the gusty winds and peak gusts. Here's what we've got in North Dakota from the North Dakota Agricultural Weather Network, including some readings in Minnesota. Current gusts are only 30 miles per hour or less. But peak gusts for the day have, well, been about the same. Now, the strongest of the winds with this system are expected to be down into parts of South Dakota. And I will show you when those will be the strongest: South Dakota, Minnesota, and Iowa. And we'll go ahead and look at this right now together, because why not? We are all together and knowing what to expect before you go to bed. Here's a look at the wind gust speed. Well, I'm going to have to log in here. Bear with me here for one moment. There, I'm logged in. Now we're going to go to a loop. All right, now let's load up this view in our region, because that's that Northern Plains stuff that we want to focus on for you. We're going to go to the regional map. Boom, boom, shakalaka. Get to a high resolution model that seems to be covering this system pretty well. Here we go. And now let's look at wind gusts. Now we can look at wind gusts. Okay, so as we go through the overnight hours, this is the midnight hour. Gusty winds up to around 40 miles per hour or more south of Watertown. Moving in, oh my goodness. Here you can see the low pressure center really deepening and strengthening. The reds that you see here show me areas where the gusts are going to be over 40 miles per hour, over 50 miles per hour in places, and the timestamp on this is 8 a.m. So anywhere along the I-29 corridor, we're going to have 35 to 50 mile per hour gusts, mind you. This is not sustained winds. Gusts in isolated places that could reach near 50 miles per hour first thing in the morning. Oh no. Oh Nelly. Look at this. It's rumbling, it's bumbling, and it's stumbling across into the Iowa, Minnesota, South Dakota border, and we have gusts upwards of 60 plus miles per hour moving into Sioux Falls, South Dakota, the I-90 corridor of southwest Minnesota, and this is at a timestamp of 2 in the afternoon. So we've got rock and roll winds rocking their way through here. Hit the like button, people. I will second that. Thanks, Kathy. Thank you for all that. Thanks for all the likes as well. Nuts, says Brenda. Bill says very light snow, and I'm liking that. That's what I got here in South Moorhead as well at the home base. Bill in West Fargo, thank you for your report. Sandy Black, Wadena, not much on the ground. Nope, not yet. And Wadena might be on the north side, but you get down into southern parts of Todd County, south of you, south of Staples, I think we'll start seeing some increased amounts. Back to the wind we go, and it does blow. And as we continue through the day, look at the winds. This is that huge deepening low pressure system at the surface that gets really strong as it moves into Wisconsin. On the backside, we have ripping winds, 40 to 50 with gusts possibly up to 60 miles per hour. This is the Twin Cities. This is Rochester. I love you, Rochester. This is Red Wing, Winona, you folks down here in Hutchinson, you folks out there in Wilmer, and also out towards Morris and Benson and Montevideo. You're all going to see rock and roll winds. Get those trash cans bungee corded down to the deck and the driveway, because they're going to end up in the neighbor's lot there pretty quick like. So 40, 50 mile per hour gusts. This time frame is going to be Sunday evening. It's still rocking and rolling. Fargo, Moorhead, wind dying as we go through Sunday night down to around 30 miles per hour. Look at Wisconsin. You know, that's going to blow holes in your Swiss cheese right then and there. So if you happen to be anywhere in central Wisconsin, Rhinelander, and anywhere north of Madison, you're going to see some rock and roll gusts, 50 or more miles per hour possible with this storm system, with the snow continuing as well. The snowfall ends Monday in the midday hours in eastern Minnesota, and the storm system starts winding out. So yeah, we're serious with serious gusts and blizzard potential. Wow, that is some crazy winds. That could be on the high side with this particular model, but I'm not showing you worst case scenario either. So let's go to the comparison of the models here with the snowfall amounts. I think we started with this. We're going to end with this on the 0Z high resolution model. I'm going to load here. We're going to compare high resolution models. This is the HRRR showing snowfall amounts that end on Tuesday at 0Z. That's Monday evening. We're looking at 1 to 2 feet of snow, southern Minnesota, and look at central and northern Wisconsin. That model is going berserk. Could we see 3 feet of snow? That's a 38 and 36 inch total out there in central and northern Wisconsin. Let's see if another model agrees. That's 43 inches of snow. I do not think that's going to happen. There could be one screw loose on that model. That's a lot of snow. 4 feet of snow is 48 inches, and that's not what I expect. Now, that's 2 models saying 40 inches or more in central Wisconsin. Oh boy, that's 3 out of 4 models saying 40 inches of snow. So let's just say a good 30 inches possible with pockets a little bit higher than that. This is unbelievable, folks, with the snow potential with this system. Does it mean it's going to get that heavy everywhere? No, but isolated places could see the top end. And now we'll show you another cool feature on Hutch's weather, and we're going to look at a model. No, we're going to look at the National Weather Service's expected forecast. So let's look at that. My friends at the National Weather Service's office do an awesome job of keeping their eyes on the skies for you. Let me go back on this. We're going to zoom out to our entire region. Whoop. Well, that would encompass our entire region, Hutch. Okay, look at the western North Dakota. Snowfall reports 3 to 4 inches. Montana, we had reports out there, as you saw, upwards of 20 inches of snow. Now, here is a look at something very cool. Let's go down to the snowfall forecast from my friends at the National Weather Service. How much are they expecting? We're going to go over the low expectation and the high expectation, but this is called the 50th percentile. This is the expected precipitation. The frame is off center, by the way. I could see that. I could see that. I'm having some widgety problems with my computer. Here is the expected snowfall totals. These colors look pretty Shazam, wow and bow wow. Okay, now let's take a look. Fargo. How much snow does this model predict for Fargo? 2 inches still. So this is the National Weather Service forecast for Fargo. The Fargo area seeing between 2 and 5 is Hutch forecast. With my friends at the Weather Service. 2 inches, Jamestown. Bismarck, a bite out of the storm in this area. Snowfall there, 1 to 2 inches of snow. Aberdeen, 6.2. Huron, 6.5. Brookings, 8 inches. Pierre, 4.8 inches. This is the expected amount. I'll show you the higher end possibility as well. So let me go ahead and plot just a couple of these over the top of the city names here so you get a feel for what this means. Grand Forks, but nothing there until you get to the south side. Bemidji, pretty low there, but you get down towards Park Rapids, we start getting into it. Brainerd, near 6. Wilmer, a foot is expected by the National Weather Service. Mankato, 9.4. Rochester, 10.4. Eau Claire, 23. Wausau, Rhinelander, Ironwood, Duluth. Okay, Marquette, and Escanaba, seeing 24 inches of flaky goodness. Green Bay, 16, and Sheboygan, we're looking at 3 inches there. Now, that's the expected amount from the National Weather Service. Hutch's input to you that we've all discovered together is the storm looks to be shifting just a pinch to the south. Minneapolis, St. Paul, northern metro area. You get up on the north side, Blaine area. Let's look there. How about 19 inches? And down here on the south side, as you go towards Bloomington, let's go back out to Minnetonka area here. We're talking 19 inches of snow there. Now, Pierre, 4.5 inches. Fort Dodge, not as much. Mason City, not as much. This is the 24-hour forecast, by the way. Now, let's do a little thing. The thing is, let's let this storm cook for 48 hours. Now, let's erase all this. Now you're looking at Minneapolis at 20, Eau Claire 25, Wausau 29. Okay, so we're starting to get into a National Weather Service forecast here, and this is the expected amount, 30 inches in Rhinelander. Marquette is just ridiculous. This is 4 feet of snow, Marquette, Michigan. And then in Escanaba, 36 inches. So if we let this go out through the duration of the storm for 2 days, so that means all night Saturday and all day Sunday and all day into Monday. That's when this ends. Mankato, 10 inches. Rochester, 15. Madison, Wisconsin out there at the University of Wisconsin seeing 9.1. Aberdeen, 6. Fargo says 2 to 3 inches of snow. 2 in Jamestown, 2 Bismarck. Pierce, South Dakota, you're looking at about 5. These are forecast amounts from the National Weather Service. Ames, down to the Des Moines area, 3.5 inches. Cedar Rapids, 5.1. I'm thinking that our friends in Ames, Iowa City, all the way down toward Des Moines could get more than these amounts. I think this all shifts south a little bit, but that's my gut. Now, let's go to the high end. So this is the 50th percentile. Let's look at what if this storm does go berserk? What could the numbers be? Recalculating. Oh my goodness. Okay, Marquette is at 65 inches on the high side. Not expected, but not out of the question of impossibility. On the high possibility, there's about a 10% chance of seeing 65 inches of snow there. Wausau, those 40s we're seeing, not out of the question. Eau Claire, 40 inches, not out of the question. Ironwood, the Apostle Islands chain, 17. Duluth on the high end, a foot. So you're starting to get a feel like, wow, this is a lot of snow, and it is. But the best chance at seeing these heavier amounts is when that low focuses into Minnesota, grabs moisture from the Central Plains, and just starts rocking you with flakes the size of Hutch Johnson's fist. Wilmer, 18.7. This is not Hutch's forecast. This is the max or high-end possibility issued by the National Weather Service offices out here for this storm system. This is unbelievable types of snowfall amounts, ice. Ice potential then, as we let this redraw, you're going to see that the 48-hour icing component with this storm system looks to be pretty good into northern parts of Wisconsin. And by good, I mean bad. So now this is the 50th percentile, or the expected amount of ice that happens overnight into the morning in millimeters. Okay, so who knows what a millimeter is? That's what this unit is measured in here on my computer. When we get up to 2 millimeters of ice, you're looking at some troubles out there. Sheboygan, you get on in towards Green Bay, Sheboygan, in between Milwaukee, we could have a good couple millimeters of icing. And look at western and northern Michigan, 2 to 5 millimeters of ice. That's a lot of ice. 7 millimeters as you go on up not far from Sault Ste. Marie. So again, icing will be a possibility with the storm as well. Hello, EV1, TACman, good to have you on board. Greenbrier, wowzers, anything more than 17 here in Minneapolis will top the Dome Buster storm of 2010. Yep, the good old Hubert Humphrey Metrodome, folks, really had some problems keeping that roof elevated. There was that pressure. Your ears would pop as you walked through the door, right? I remember that place. My marching band in high school, we went there and marched there way back in the day. So I'll tell you what, that is a look at what's going on. I'm meteorologist Hutch Johnson. We've had a lot of chances to look over things. Make sure that you have the weather app to check road conditions. Don't travel if you don't have to, because this storm means business. Do make sure you check back in the morning. Hit the subscribe button on my page on YouTube here, please, and hit the subscribe button as well. That's really important for you, as to hit the notification bar. You can get notifications of when I'm going live. Hit the like button, hit the hearts if you like it, share it with everybody, and thanks for being a part of the broadcast tonight. I'll be back.
This has been a Hutch's Weather Update with Chief Meteorologist Hutch Johnson. Follow us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Wait, you forgot the new app. You're right, I did. Don't forget to download our new app. Oh, now let's rock.